It is Second World War causes we are going to discuss now. So before that, one more question is left here. That is genocidal war. During the Second World War time, Hitler Hitler have started a mass killing of a minority community people. He killed Jews near about 6 crores and 20 lakh gypsies, 1 crore Polish civilians, 70,000 Germans who were physically, mentally disabled, and also killed many political opponents or other political party leaders who were against to Hitler, and also killed people of different religion faiths, other religion people. So, such a mass murder of a minority community people by Hitler is called genocidal war. This is one more question. What is genocidal war? So here, with the mass killing of the community, minority community people, German state turned to very horrified state. Horrified state. Many of thousands of people were sentenced to gas chambers, which were called Auschwitz camps. In the last class, I have shown. Today, we'll see Second World War, which began 1939 and completed by 1945. 1945. Here too we find certain reasons, that is certain reasons, that means causes: aggressive nationalism, militarism, imperialism, secret alliances. These were the reasons for World War One and also reasons for Second World War. About these reasons we have studied during the World War One causes. Along with these causes, in addition to these causes, there are some other causes for World War Two. The first one is Treaty of Versailles and its severe terms. There were rigid, severe terms under Treaty of Versailles. Treaty of Versailles is a conference which took place at Versailles in 1990, and in 1919 it was the biggest conference of that time, attended by 32 nations representatives. 32 nations representatives attended this, and these 32 nations covered a population of three-fourths of the world. Three-fourths of the world population is covered by 32 nations. 32 representatives belonging to 32 nations attended it. In the five victorious nations were very powerful. That is USA, which means America, United Kingdom, that is Britain, France, Italy, and Japan. These were the parties in the conference. Socialist Russia and defeated country Germany, Austria, Turkey, these were not invited to the conference. There was a conference in the Treaty of Versailles with victorious countries only. And in that conference, to punish the Germany, all the victorious countries kept or imposed severe conditions on Germany. Those were territorial penalties. It is the first one. The conditions laid on Germany under Treaty of Versailles are the first one, territorial penalties. Second one, military cuts. And third one, Germany was asked to give up the colonies which it had in Africa, those occupied in 1880s. In 1870s, there was a war between Germany and France. At that time, in Franco-Prussian War, you have studied in ninth class. There, Alsace-Lorraine, these were the regions famous for minerals belonging to the France were occupied by Germany in 1871. After the defeat of Germany in World War I, those places of France, that is Alsace and Lorraine, they were restored back to the France. There is another condition. And Germany was asked that to reduce its army strength from 9 lakhs to 1 lakh. During World War I time, its army strength was 9 lakh. After the end of World War I, Germany was forced to maintain a limited army, that is 1 lakh. Why did it happen like that? Because if Germany maintains a large army, it would go on creating another world war. So they kept a condition on its army strength to keep a limit. And it was asked, Germany was forced that it should not maintain submarines. Do you know submarines? Which go under the water. Those were not allowed to the Germany. And its naval strength, Germany's naval strength was limited to 6 battleships, which can carry less than 10,000 tons, and dozen torpedo missile carriers. Only 12 torpedo missile carriers were allowed to maintain. So, with all these conditions, Germany felt that it was a cruel, cunning plan intentionally laid on Germany to take revenge. So, Germany felt that such all the conditions are a diktat, a cunning plan of the victorious countries in which there is no reasonable conditions. So Germany decided to violate all these conditions. So one after one, all the conditions laid on Germany was violated during the World War II time. It started increasing its army strength, submarines. It received it maintained many submarines, and its army strength also increased. In that way, one after one, all the conditions laid on Germany with the Treaty of Versailles were violated. So, in that way, we see it led to World War II. So, the terms of Treaty of Versailles is one of the reasons for World War II. Next is failure of League of Nations. Towards the end of World War One, to stop further world wars, one international organization was created, and it was League of Nations. The aim of League of Nations was to maintain peace and to prevent wars. Then, no, just a minute, students. Uh, okay, it is invited. So here, Russia and Germany was not invited to become the members of the League of Nations. Why did it was why did this Russia and Germany was not invited? Germany was the reason for World War One. Russia withdrew from World War One due to civil war. So these were not invited. And America, which was very active in creating the League of Nations, was not the member of League of Nations. It is American President Woodrow Wilson who was the main person for creating the League of Nations, was not the member of League of Nations. So why did America did not become member by the Congress, the Parliament of America, called here Congress? So Congress refused the President Woodrow Wilson's proposal that to become the part of the League of Nations. President cannot do anything against the will of the Congress. So, as a parliament refused, America did not become the member of a League of Nations. So, Woodrow Wilson, the President of America, who was very active in creating the League of Nations, was not the member of the League of Nations, not the member of it. So, many nations have got doubts whether this League of Nations will work out or not for promoting the peace and preventing the wars. And it was only 58 countries the league contained. There are many countries in the world. Total members in the League of Nations was 58. And these countries were not up to the mark of hope on that one. The League of Nations would help remove wars through collective security and settle the disputes, what you call with negotiation, that is bilateral negotiations. So it failed. It also created, League of Nations also created one of its agencies, that is International Court of Justice, through which if there were any disputes among the world countries, then those disputes could be solved with International Court of Justice. So League of Nations with International Court of Justice tried a lot but failed. Though it promised and very much expected by the world nations, it failed. League of Nations failed in stopping, in preventing Germany, Japan, and Italy, which violated international agreements and attacked other countries. So the failure of League of Nations made world nations to feel League of Nations was not able to secure world peace. People, the world countries have lost hope, confidence on the League of Nations. So as the confidence was lost, then one after one, many of the nations started waging war and jumping into the Second World War. So failure of League of Nations also one of the reasons of World War II. Next, another reason for World War II, that is German challenge to vengeful domination. Here we see that after the Germans' defeat, that is end of the World War I in 1919, the victorious Allied countries they punished the Germany by imposing rigid conditions, and the conditions forced on the Germany by the Treaty of Versailles were very slavish. Slavish means like slavery. Germany felt that Allied nations imposed the conditions on Germany to punish it. So Germany thought that the conditions laid by Allied nations with the Treaty of Versailles were not fair, in which they did not take the opinion of the Germany. So Germany thought these conditions were slavery, slavish conditions, and that created an adverse desire in Germany, which led to rise of Hitler with the Nazi Party. Hitler and Nazi Party they felt that those conditions of the Treaty of Versailles no need to follow, and they wanted to get back the territories which it had lost by the Treaty of Versailles. It also wanted that to restore the Germans' control over the Central Europe, and it wanted to end up the restrictions laid on German army. That is what you call army reduction. We have seen right on the Treaty of Versailles. There was a limit on Germany's army strength. Right, it was army strength asked to pull down from 9 lakhs to 1 lakh. So that also considered by Germany a unfair means of condition. So all the conditions of the Treaty of Versailles were unfair as per the Germany and Hitler, that is the Nazi party. So Germany started rebuilding its army industries to make Germany as a strong supreme power in the world. So it given importance in developing massive army and armament, that is weapons, atom bombs, and all that could be used only by war. When the chance will come to use it when war takes place. So the army which Germany increased and armaments, weapons, ammunitions which Germany increased will be useful when war takes place. So when Germany was focusing on increasing the army and armament, the rest of the world felt that Germany would go on creating another trouble to the world, that is World War II. And Germany decided to take revenge on the domination of the victorious countries, that is especially Britain. So to reduce the domination of the European powers like Britain, France, then America, Germany decided to increase its army. So after increasing its army, becoming strong, Germans felt that very proud and entered into the war pulling one after one all the nations into the World War II. So Germans' challenge to vengeful domination also become one of the reasons for World War II, right? Another cause is the fear from socialism and Russia. So here, after the end of World War One, there was a great social change all over the Europe, right? Especially we see that working class people turn to create a new ideology in what to call Russia, that is communism, right? So we see here all over the world, especially in Europe, in Russia, in Russia, there a new ideology emerged. That was what that communist Russia, communism. In 1917, an internal civil war took place in Russia that we have studied. That is March Revolution, October Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, Lenin. After that, Lenin. After that, Stalin. So here, Russia with the socialist revolution, it turned to Union of Soviet Socialist States in 1922. And one of the first acts of the new government that was to end Russians' participation in the war, like First World War. So by 1917, Russia made a treaty with the Germany, a peaceful treaty, and ended the war. That means it withdrawn from the World War One. So after that, Russia built its own economy with the twin policy. We have seen past industrialization and collective farms. And this twin policy achieved with the 5-year plans. After Lenin, Stalin also came and established many industries. So there was a great progress in Russia with communism. Communism is an ideology opposite to the capitalist countries like Britain, America. So the Western capitalist countries like Britain, they afraid that same kind of revolution which occurred in Russia would may occur in their nations. So they did not recognize communism is one ideology and one type of government. They felt fear of a socialist Russia, that is communist Russia or USSR. So Britain, France, and other capitalist countries, that is America, they felt that workers in their nation also may raise a revolution similar to the Russian Revolution. So, because of the ideological conflicts, Russia turned to an enmity with ideology. That means Russia turned an enemy for capitalistic countries like Britain, France, and America. And these nations, Britain, France, America, they want to see end of communist Russia. They were fear of communist Russia. So to end the communist Russia, this Britain, France, and America encouraged Germany, that is Hitler. Okay, because Hitler already stated in his speeches that he was a staunch enemy of communism. Hitler stated that wherever communism is there, there will be Hitler back of it to end it. In his speeches, that is, in his addresses to the public meetings, Hitler stated that he would end and eliminate communism from the world. So, Britain, France, America, they also targeted the what communist Russia, so that they focused on Hitler. They encouraged the what Hitler. Hitler also know that Britain and France and America are trying to motivate Hitler against communism. So to take the support of these victorious capitalist countries, Hitler stated openly that he was against communism, so that he could gain support from the what to call Britain, France, and America, right? So Hitler started building his army. When he was building his army, you may get a doubt that why did not victorious countries take an action on Germany, that is on Hitler? Because here one reason is there. They thought that who allied nations, that is Britain, France, America, they thought that if Hitler increases its army, first he will go on targeting the communism, right? So whatever Hitler wanted, that was agreed and provided by the victorious nations. And this became a chance for Hitler to develop very strong army in the world. So whatever Hitler demanded, that was provided by the victorious nations, and that policy we call here appeasement of Hitler. To encourage Hitler, these allied nations they come together against the USSR. So whatever Hitler asked, that was provided, supported by the victorious nations against the USSR. Such policy we call here appeasement of Hitler. For 1 mark, you will get this question. What is meant by appeasement of Hitler? It's a policy initiated by the Britain, France against USSR by giving support to Hitler. So these all are the long-term causes for World War II. We have discussed one immediate cause for World War I, that is assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand along with his wife Sophia. That was the immediate cause for World War I. In the same manner, for Second World War II, there is an immediate cause. That is Hitler's attack on Poland. Hitler waged a war, or Hitler attacked on Poland September 1st, 1939. And this was the immediate cause for World War II. When Hitler waged war on Poland on 1st September 1939, many other nations, one after one, jumped into the World War II, and it turned to a major, deadly, dangerous, disastrous war, that is World War II. So here we see that Hitler, who was the dictator of Germany, invaded Poland because Hitler wanted Danzig, which is a port in Poland. That region Hitler demanded. Poland refused to hand over Danzig port to the Germany because Poland had one agreement, that is a military agreement, that what we call defense pact with Britain. What is defense pact? If Poland is in trouble, Britain would help to the Poland. Okay, so that is called defense pact. With the defense pact, Poland refused to hand over port of Danzig to the Germany. So Hitler got angry and attacked on Poland on 1st September 1939. So in this way, World War II began with this cause. So we call it a immediate cause for World War II. And here, most of the fascist countries they supported each other. Fascist countries in the sense Italy, uh, then Germany, right, and Japan, then Spain, their General Franco. All these were moving with the fascist ideologies that is based on aggressive nationalism. So they supported each other and started military attacks on their neighboring countries which were weak. In that way, it turned to Second World War. Second World War occurred between two group of countries. One is Axis powers. Axis powers are those Germany, Italy, and Japan. Other side, we see Allied powers, in which England, United States, that is America, France, and USSR. You may get a doubt here, my dear students. Britain, France, America, they were fear of USSR and supported with USSR, because Hitler, when he turned against these nations, that is America, France, and Britain, then these nations turned to extend support to Soviet Union. In that way, Soviet Union turned to one important nation giving support for Allied powers. During World War One time also, we see secret blocks were formed. Those were triple entente, triple alliance, or allied nations that we have seen. And here we see that Axis powers and allied powers. What are the countries in Axis powers? Germany, Italy, Japan. These are Axis powers. What are allied powers? Britain, France, USSR, and America. These were what allied powers. So here in 1941, Japan, which is a group of the Germany, that is Axis powers. Japan, which is very close with Germany, it waged war on Pearl Harbor, which is a ship of the USA. So Hitler decided to attack on USSR in 1942. As Japan, an ally of Germany, attacked on Pearl Harbor of USA, Hitler also decided to attack on USSR in 1942. With this, USA and USSR joined against with Germany and Japan. So Germany, Japan, one group, USA and USSR another group. Okay. So USA, USSR turned against Germany and Japan, right? Because USA turned against Germany as Germany waged war on Pearl Harbor of the USA. So in that way, it turned to World War II. Okay, and in the next class, we will